Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to another edition of Poetry Goes Viral with Carolina Poets here on our Carolina Poets Facebook page. We're also multicasting tonight, so you may be watching us on our YouTube channel, which is Carolina Poets, where you can see all of our past shows archives and also see a lot of great poetry, spoken word and page poetry from our live events. So definitely check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. My name is Kimberly Sims, and I am the founder of Wits and Poetry and Carolina Poets. And myself and Andrew K. Clark host Poetry Goes Viral every second and fourth Thursday here on our two YouTube channels on our Facebook pages as well as our YouTube channels. I'm kind of just talking for a few minutes to give people a chance to get on the feed and check out this phenomenal lineup that we have tonight. I'm super excited because we are celebrating poets from the Southern Fried Poetry Slam. Some of you may know what the Southern Fried Poetry Slam is. Some of you may be getting ready to find out. But our three poets tonight, we have Ed Mabrey, who I'm going to introduce here shortly. We have, and actually Ed Mabrey is out of North Carolina. We have Black Atticus, who's out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And we have Dupree, who is out of Greenville, South Carolina. And the reason that we decided to do this special show highlighting the Southern Fried Poetry Slam is that they just had their 19th annual Southern Fried Poetry Slam at the beginning of June. It was the first time they ever did it virtually, and it just went phenomenally. Everybody had a great time. Southern Fried is part poetry festival, part poetry competition, and part family reunion. And so we had a great time with that. And basically at the end of the show tonight, we're kind of going to have a little chat with everybody so we can talk about how people have been impacted by the Southern Fried Poetry Slam. I myself was only barely 22 the first time I attended back in the 90s. So it's something that's definitely had a big impact on my life. And it's something that will be back in person next year. They'll be doing Southern Fried in Louisville, Kentucky. If you are just joining us, if you have any questions during the show, you can pop those into the comments below. And we can kind of bring up some of those questions during our discussion at the end. But without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and kind of get on with it and introduce Ed Mabrey. Ed Mabrey is somebody that I've known for a really long time. And I've really given him a lot of money as he wins tons of poetry slams. Like, it's very rare that Ed Mabrey shows up and does not win the poetry slam. But he's also not only a phenomenal poetry slam champion, but he's actually a phenomenal workshop leader, a published poet. And so I feel really grateful that he's agreed to share his words with us tonight. So here's his official bio, which is Ed Mabrey, actor, author, and speaker, exemplifies a modern-day Renaissance artist. From the page to the stage and the script to the screen, Ed captivates, motivates, and promulgates the performing arts. He is considered the greatest poet in the history of Poetry Slam. 4 world championships, 6 consecutive regional championships, and over 500 wins in his career. Ed tours the country professionally as a poet, comedian, and professional speaker. Also an NAACP Image Award Nominee. Ed has been on seasons 3, 5, and 6 of Verses and Flow, TV One, as well as appearing on broadcasts on ABC, Fox, HBO All Def Digital, Crackle, CNN, and C-SPAN. Ed was a speaker at the 2015 TEDx Dayton and 2017 TEDx Evans Street. As the 2019 APCA Spoken Word Artist of the Year, Ed has performed at over 200 colleges and universities around the country, teaching workshops and conducting seminars. A Watering Hole graduate fellow in Scioto, I'm pronouncing that wrong, Retreat Cohort, Ed is a Pushcart nominee and contributed poems to a New York Times national bestselling anthology. Ed has been commissioned to craft a speech encompassing the Freedom Awards recipients and an event theme for 2017, 2018, and 2019. I first met Ed at the World Poetry Slam in 2004, and it has just been a joy ever since. So Ed, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. And hi to everybody out there watching this now and later.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to pop backstage and just if you would just say this is my last poem when you finish up, and I'm looking forward to talking to you later.
Good deal. Thank you so much. Hi, for everyone watching now, watching later on, we're not going to do a lot of explaining about the poem because you have to explain the poem, then the poem or the poet hasn't done their job. But I'll share a few pieces here today, and there'll be discussion, I believe, at the end of this. So feel free, I believe, on part of this, you'll be able to comment and chat on the various channels you're on. This first piece from a series that I'm working on, where you introduce three things and force them to communicate with each other that wouldn't normally communicate, and then see what happens. So this is called The Bear, the Hunter, the Gun. The bear saw the hunter saw the bear. The bear asked of the hunter's day. The hunter replied, "It has been a day." The bear saw the gun, and the gun saw the bear. The bear asked the gun of its day, and the gun remained silent. The hunter thought of his wife, round hips and failing vision, the daughter with no stuffed doll, the boy with a gimp leg, all of them weak. Someone must be strong, he said to the gun, and the gun remained silent. The bear thought of running and accepted that just isn't what bears do. The bear had never given thought to what bears do. The bear assumed bears must be too busy doing bear things to think on what they can, can't, should, or shouldn't do. The hunter raised the gun. The bear said, "Wait." Said, "The trees have delicate ears. The leaves are still sleeping. Come back in March when they've seen some life, felt the sun on their face." And the sun, it takes the right balance of reds and yellows. A bear's blood could mess up the equinox. What of the worms? Won't the noise trigger them to think thunder, to screech hallelujah for answered prayers for rain, only to come up from earth and see no clouds overhead, except for that one, right there over the quiet brook? Such a small cloud, can't be long from the teat of its mother. Should it learn that all things can evaporate at such a young age? Are we the ones to take the dew from its eyelids? Do we think ourselves gods in this simple forest? What of the buckshot ricochet? The bark ballets against wanton spider webs, the fissures cracked into sparrow eggs too soon, light in that darkness before its time. Are we the ones who determine when tomorrow comes today? Can we be arrogant enough to dress the last of the snow in scarlet? Did either of us ask permission to give it such a dressing, such a kiss? Where is the decency in the explosion of silence into speed, into trial, into failure? Isn't that what it would be, Hunter? To pull that muted mouth by its tongue, to give its eyes and make it see smoke billow from its hollowed mouth? Would you mark me a felled beast, not worthy of getting home to cave, to sleeping wife and child? She, who still calls me husband after all the weight I've lost. Look how I've withered during the great slumber. Yet I know her eyes on me will stoke a fire in my belly, and we will eat the northern berries. And once our bellies are full and our child is at the water's neck chasing a butterfly or arguing with a caterpillar, we will find a soft underbrush and mate. Make love as bears do after months of slumbering next to each other. I will tell her of all the dreams I had, and she will laugh whether I am funny or not and call me by my name. And it will be a good name that she calls me, a name that keeps my blood inside my body and my organs intact. She will want something made of this flesh you see before you. We will never speak of the one we lost 2 seasons ago. Just focus on the one we have and the one we will make into being, and thank our God for the branch and the berry, the brook, the cave, and the bird overhead, forever teasing with its wing, the wolf on the far end of the forest for giving us this cave after the one we lost and never speak of. Is there anything you've lost and don't speak of? Is there, Hunter? I can see it in the corner of your mouth, that downward bend. That's what happens when a frown breaks a man's face. How did you lose your cub? Was it the wolves? Or maybe winter? Did you come to your cave, skin slack, sheen with sweat, maybe a hatchet in your hand and some poor dumb rabbit in a bag or a pheasant? Out doing what hunters do, but at home, something found your youngest cub and did a thing you and your wife have never spoke of. Was it the great beast? The one that eats from the inside and makes your kind cough sadness all over the snow? Was it a beast with no name? One that grows whether you feed or starve it, dims the vision and the mind. The owl by your outhouse saw where you buried the body, said the hole wasn't much bigger than the one I dug for mine. I'm betting you didn't fetch a tool from a shed, did you? No. You used your claws just as I. Doesn't that make us brothers? to curl dirt in our hands till nails split, crack, and break, ignore the blood and keep digging, spittle frothing in the corners of our mouths, breath as jagged as the peak just over the hills behind us. Haven't we shared a sacred bond? Which would you like to be then, Cain or Abel? I say we write our own gospel against this godly refrain, against this raging tide inside us both. Who gave those gates permission to open? Certainly not me. Did you, Hunter? Did you tell your God to take that cub from you before you could teach you the ways of this world, this horrible, stinking, filthy world? Let it burn, Hunter, you and I, to the ground, to this miserable ground, till all that's left is dreams and fishes. And what do they know? I stand before you now on 2 legs, upright. Am I not a man then? One without a gun such as yours? Would you shoot an unarmed man the way the beast shot through your child, through mine? Isn't the loss enough? The eternal tearing of our souls, that silent slice a page at a time, day after day, like a caterpillar chews lazily on a leaf. We both have wives to get home to. Wives crazy enough to think us good and whole when we both know we are anything but. Hasn't it been a day already, Hunter? Isn't every day on this cursed land a day the moment we open our eyes? And the hunter said, it has been a day. And the gun said, and that's that piece. We'll keep on going. We're still good for time. Again, thank everybody for tuning in and listening to this. And I will make sure to share all my information once we're done with this. This is called A Few Things About Black Superman. A preface, only preface on this actually has nothing to do with the poem, but the form. A lot of poets in and out of the spoken word and slam realm create what's called counting poems, and have become equally loved and loathed. The trick I've been told, or the secret I've been told, and I'll share it now without charging for it, is that you write a counting poem and you take the numbers out, and you just have a poem, unless the numbers matter. In this case, the numbers do and don't matter, and you'll figure out why as it gets shared and the numbers do and don't get shared. All right. A few things about Black Superman. 1, there is a Black Superman. 2, no, seriously, there's a Black Superman. 3, he is Black. 4, he is super. 5, he doesn't know he's super. He has a second job working security at Macy's in the men's underwear department. He has hair like Jesus. 8, Jesus was Black. 9, he wears a headband to hide puncture wounds from the crown royal of thorns. He has a slight drinking problem. He used to smoke Newports, but quit. 12, Black Superman has a fear of heights. He's watched us elevate Black men just so we can drop them from higher and higher spots. 13, Black Superman doesn't leap over buildings in a single bound. The elevator in his slum tenement hasn't worked in 9 years. He walks to his day job 22 miles each way every day. Black Superman has noticed Black people are not bulletproof and have a bad habit of running into bullets while doing silly things such as standing. Black Superman has taken to crawling to work on his knees and elbows lately. He can only manage about 6 blocks a day. His route to work is on Broadway, also known as the Great White Way. Black Superman crawls on his elbows and knees along the Great White Way and looks for a sign of humanity. At the time of this poem, the shows currently on Broadway were Aladdin, Beautiful, Wicked, The Book of Mormon, Finding Neverland, Hedwig, and The Angry Inch. 21. He'd like to make a wish on a lamp or be told he is beautiful. Maybe defeat the wicked and get a beer with some Mormons, make his way to Neverland. And while he thinks he knows what Hedwig's Inch might be angry about, he doesn't want to speculate. 22, aviophobia is the fear of flying. 23, we all crawl before we walk, but what do we do just before deciding to fly? 24, I am losing my belief in humanity. Black Superman traded a kid a skateboard for his cape. The child couldn't fly any more than Black Superman can ride a skateboard, but he thought the boy should be allowed to dream. 27, Black Superman's cape was red, and the boy lived in the Crips section of Chicago. So less than 15 minutes after the trade, the boy was shot dead 2 steps from his home. 28, aviophobia is the fear of flying. 29, Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams led Cleveland, Ohio police on a high-speed chase for 22 miles, but were unarmed. Black Superman took 9 years to film crawling 22 miles along Broadway on his knees and elbows for a video display in a museum in Arkansas. 31, 13 police officers fired over 137 shots at point-blank range into a car, killing Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams. 32, ballistophobia is the fear of bullets. Black Superman slinks past police barricades and thinks himself invisible. The police don't shoot because he's already on the ground, so they assume since he's black, he's dead. Black Superman uses his laser vision to write hashtag Black Lives Matter across the face of the moon. 36. He is losing his faith in humanity. He can hear police mistaking their guns for tasers all over the country at the same time. Black Superman has given up on moving at the speed of light. Technically, it's faster than a speeding bullet, but he knows that's a lie. He's black, therefore he can't outfly all the bullets speeding into black bodies. He doesn't even try anymore. 41. There is a Black Superman. 42. No, really, there is Black Superman. He doesn't know he's super. He thinks himself just an artist. 45. Autophobia is the fear of oneself. 46. Look, they're on the ground bleeding to death. It's a bird. It's a plane. All right, we will do another one. If everybody's still hopefully awake out there, because you never can tell on video chats. Hopefully you are awake. If not, it'll be kind of awkward and weird. This one is called The Black Boy Asks Questions because I'm not prolific about titles. The Black Boy Asks Questions. Mama said that God takes the ones first that he loves the most. So God must love the black boys. Can't he find a better way to express his feelings? The soldier said, when the bullet hits your body, take off your wristwatch and smash the face so it stops ticking to mark the hour you died so your sons will know who you were. The black boy gets confused. Black boy sees black boys die all the time, so he figures some angel smashed the sundial long ago but left the sun. He holds his thumb up in the summer sky and watches it eclipse the sun, wonders how can he still see the light with the sun blotted out? Why won't this star respect the shadows it creates? The black boy grew up alone, surrounded by other black boys, wondered why he cast a shadow darker than himself on concrete and longer than his dreams on walls, wonders if a shadow can stretch longer than the lifespan of its owner. He's seen blood and chalk outlines before, but the shadow is always long gone. He thinks maybe the shadows return to the light. Or do they sit around darkened corners when the sirens call, afraid that if they stick around, they will get blamed for the crime? The police always say it was someone of some vague height and weight, but always someone dark. The black boy buys a gun. It is black like him, so he assumes it's his brother from another mother. It's good at keeping quiet, then suddenly popping off at the mouth like the other black boys in his neighborhood. He didn't buy it for protection. He bought it for company, for the times when the son grows weary of gentrification and goes back to its condo in the suburbs, and half-brother glows against the empty parking lots for when his shadow says it'll be right back. Gotta be home when the streetlights come on. Mama making meatloaf tonight. We got Bible study, or whatever excuse shadows give to leave him alone. The gun doesn't talk much, but when it does, it says cool things like, fuck it, feed me, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, or it hums the courtship of Eddie's father to keep the boy's hands from trembling. The black boy asks the gun if they're best friends. The gun says, feed me Seymour. The boy doesn't get the joke but laughs anyway. The gun likes late night walks with just the two of them. The gun tells the black boy the story of the scorpion and the hippo, or maybe it was a frog or an elephant, or that nigga eyeballing him as he rolls too slow through the neighborhood. What the fuck you looking at, son? The black boy never considered the other black boys might have night shadows of their own, might have guns for best friends with full bellies, ready to shit on some black boy's chest. The black boy asked the gun a few questions. Are you an angel? Did God send you here to take me to heaven early? Does everyone die when they're supposed to? Who's going to tell my shadow what happened come morning? Can I see the sun one last time? Does the moon deliver messages? Why does the light at the end of the tunnel look like a barrel? I don't have a watch to smash. Can I have one, please? How will my sons know the hour of my demise? I never kissed a girl. How will I have sons? Is heaven warm? Will I need a coat? Promise to tell mama I didn't mean to bleed on this shirt. Club soda, take it right out. They got club soda at the corner store? Help me hold my thumb up to the moon. If it don't have no heat, why it got light? With my head on the concrete, all these cars sound like drums. Is bump 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 a noun or a verb? Hey, the streetlight making shadows on the corner. Could one of your shadows pass a message on for me? Tell my mother I smashed the sun so my sons will know the hour of my demise. Tell my shadow to plead the fifth. Tell somebody to bury me with my gun. It's my night shadow. It calls me Seymour. It's the only friend I've got. With that being said, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to say it's my last poem. So while Ms. Sims comes back, my name is Ed Mabrey. You can find me pretty much via everything that is my name, which is my name. If you see it on here, it says EDMABREY. Instagram is Ed Mabrey. My website is Ed Mabrey. Grumblepress.com. Grumble like grumbling, press like press.com is my press for all and any books I have, mine and other wonderful people that are way better writers than me that I've been blessed to publish. Other than that, yeah, you can find me or email me at edmabrey@gmail.com for bookings, questions, all that.
And what's the name of your latest book?
My latest book, the latest book I released is called From the Inside Out. That book is by none other than the living legend Umar bin Hassan of the Last Poets. So that's on my press, but it's not my book. It's my press's book, but it's his book. The last thing I'm in is Hieroglyphs, which is also from my press, and that is myself, Talam AC, Sonny Patterson, 13 in Nazareth, Jahidi Brownfish, and Lamar Hill.
Wow.
So that's a wonderful compilation, like a history-making compilation book. All the books are available at grumblepress.com, or you can contact me directly at edmabrey.com for bookings and all that kind of fun stuff. But thank you for letting me share stuff that's not the typical 3-minute slam session moment.
Well, thank you, Ed. That was such a treat, and we'll talk to you here in a few minutes when we bring you back up at the end. So thank you, and please, everybody, give a virtual round of applause for Ed Mabrey. And definitely, he's such a phenomenal performance poet, but he's also just as strong on the page. And I think there's so many people that have come out of slam that are phenomenal both on the page and the stage, and he's definitely one of them. I'm very excited to introduce our next poet, Black Atticus out of Knoxville. I was trying to think when I first met Black Atticus, it was definitely in the early 2000s when he was on the Knoxville Slam team. I recently saw Black Atticus. He was on the Secret City Slam out of Knoxville, and we were joking before this that the Greenville Slam team was up against Knoxville the very first night, and we had a fierce battle, and it was phenomenal. And we were really excited to see Knoxville in the top 4 on the final stage of the Southern Fried Poetry Slam this year. But just to give you a little bit of the official bio, Black Atticus is one of the most intellectual and heartfelt voices of the new Southern hip-hop movement. Hailing from Knoxville, Tennessee, Atticus weaves the art of conversation through new sage wisdom with a dash of mother wit, the hard facts of life, and an honest sense of humor that hits home seamlessly. And he really is a lot of fun. So hopefully Black Atticus is backstage. Let me grab him. There he is. Hi.
Hey. What's going on?
How's it going?
Oh, feeling good. Feeling great.
Awesome.
Great Ed Mabrey.
I know, so good. Well, I'm going to pop back because I don't want to use up your time, but just give me a little shout out when you finished your last poem.
How long do I got?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay. That works. Greetings, people. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to share a series of songs and poems and maybe some story. Definitely some rhyme. Like this one right here. Here's something they don't understand. Living life with a permanent tan. Really hard to make a 10-year plan when your death is in high demand. Your Honor, this is more than baby mama drama. My woman crush Wednesday every week has been Brianna. Her killer got to serve a death sentence with no comma. One was chilling at the beach with a pina colada, while she was at the morgue with a hashtag on it. Now that ain't the way it go. Come on now, be honest. You reap what you sow, but who trying to see that harvest? Swallowing pride ain't the hardest. Last time I checked, now picture 4 damn minutes with a knee on your neck, and then add 3 more, plus 46 seconds. Bet you find yourself swinging that little Gavin like a weapon, cause I'm guessing, ain't none of that cool. Talking about doing to others, but who did that to you? And just how blind is this justice if it hates my hue? Who, Lord? Please give them a clue, because this reality is reflective of the choices we choose. Now don't lose. Here's something they don't understand. Living life with a permanent tan. Really hard to make a 10-year plan when your death is in high demand. I always thought it was funny How sun rays always manage to find our Kool-Aid stains and reflect them off our preschool faces. Through jungle gym swing sets and monkey bar blisters, we became invincible to cliches and the advice from our elders. Well, unless it was funny, because funny means laughter, and laughter is perfect for every single occasion. Had our snagger-tooth smiles striking like weapons of mass jubilation, reminding us that somewhere between the potty training and refraining from responsibility, we messed around and grew up. Not old, just up. Up from the holograms used to expand off our shoes as we did the Roger Rabbit dance, to finally understanding what mom and dad meant that whole time by saying, boy, you're lucky if you ever get a second chance. And baby, when you get a chance, try and believe in that thing they call love. Like love, 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 until living is as easy as listening to Sade, Stevie, Mugabe, Nina, Ella, Etta, Donnie Hathaway. Wait. Till it vibrates through your day like big echo in small hallway. Until I love you like mommy and daddy should have always, but it won't always work out that way. Now does it, baby? Sometimes love can be found in the veins of those who don't even share your blood. And sometimes you don't need your arms to give a hug until Sun Tzu's moon blue. And freedom includes you until the day you pay me back that money I loaned you means the day I could care less about some money I loaned you till they admit they illegally tapped my phone too. So nothing was ever really wrong with our connection. We've all been roaming, surfing, searching for a connection that has been resting behind our eyes this entire time, our spotless minds shining eternally through our smiles till we can sit down and be blinded by them a while, until time combines our style and we dare the world to bite it. Do we demand more bowls of life? Because like Mikey, we like it. We like it. Mama said, love until Eeyore gets excited. That's a mighty long time. And then Papa said, now I'm gonna need you to believe. Believe until your hair stands on a handstand and you feel like you can't stand it. Till you get somewhere, drop that apostrophe T and tell me how you can stand it. So there's no third word on the third rock from the sun of this planet, till our presidents are no longer descendants of Jed Clampett, until you realize you're a fresh coat of change and tomorrow is your canvas and you two were meant to be together like peanut butter and jelly in a sandwich, until everything you've ever taken for granted is granted. And all access pass into your utmost appreciations, till you're nothing more than a walking, talking, breathing weapon of mass jubilation. I had a dream one time. It was crazy. I had a dream that I was this like an omniscient being. I was kind of sitting in the corner of this trailer park home, and like, you know, the trailer park home was like kind of rustic. It had like old newspapers covering all the windows, so it was kind of dark. And then suddenly this couple came busting in, and they didn't notice I was there. You know, they came busting in, and you know, they were arguing with each other and yelling, and like I could immediately tell that they had a rough life. You know how like a rough life can make you look 3 times your age. You know, I felt like they were my age, but they looked like my seniors, and they were just, you know, cutting each other with words, and if words could kill type conversation. You know, they both been dead immediately. But like I said, I was omniscient. They couldn't see me, and I just kind of like watched them. And as they were arguing, it was like this black cloud of smoke was spinning all around them, you know, and like I just got up and I walked right through them, and they just kept arguing. They never stopped arguing. I walked right through them. I stepped out the door, and when I came out the door, there was this guide, this dude just sitting there waiting. He was like, yo, it's kind of crazy, right? And I was like, yeah, that was kind of weird. And immediately he started talking to me about energy. You know, he was like, you gotta be careful, like, you know, people's energy. You gotta watch how the energy goes. And, you know, when I look back at the trailer park home, I realized it was like some, you ever seen the Ewoks in Star Wars? It was like all these, like they were up in trees. It was like this metallic, like Mad Max meets the Ewoks. Like it was just like, you know, all these broken down houses made of metal inside these trees. And me and this guy are walking across this handmade bridge thing, dangling. And as we were walking down, the whole time he was talking to me about energy, and we ended up going down into this small, like third world village, you know, a lot of deserts, had houses made of clay, and I could see children playing, and the children were playing, and like I could see their energy. It was like their auras was just so colorful, and the whole time the guide is just talking to me about energy. And I was halfway through the dream when I realized that every time I looked at this guide, it was never the same person. It was like 1 minute be a woman, and one time it'd be a dude, 6 foot, 5'2", 5'3". It didn't matter. And it didn't freak me out because the conversation never changed. We were talking about energy. And so I get to, you know, this from this foreign land into this area that I recognize as close here in Knoxville. And it was like this, you know, local Kroger, little little shopping center or whatever. And in this parking lot, there were all these different artists, you know, and the artists were like, you know, there was clay makers and musicians, and there was like, you know, dancers and like, you know, just all kind of artists. And like the only difference between them and the children's aura was like full of colors, and they were playing around with it. And some of the adults, their auras were weak, and it was like they weren't aware of their energy. But the artists were very much so aware of a very particular part of their energy, and they were just playing around with it, and they were manipulating it. You know, it was, you know, dancing and doing that thing. It was just beautiful. But then they showed me then I saw the spoken word artist. I saw the word artist, the wordsmith. I saw the rapper, you know, it was awesome. And like the wordsmith had taken his words and he had said something, cracked the ground, and out of the ground came like this giant beanstalk, and the beanstalk picked them up, and, you know, it was playing around with it. And it was tripping me out, but it was like I wasn't tripping in a dream. It was all normal, you know, because it's a dream state. And then suddenly my guide transformed into a friend of mine's dad, and he was like, "Hey man, you want to ride home?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." You know, so we hopped in the car, you know. So it was weird. It was like European style. The driver's side was on the left, you know. Anyway, but it was, you know, dream. It was cool. And we go up this hill, and as we're going up the hill, all the trees started transforming. It was like there was regular trees, then it started turning into like rainforest trees, you know, covered in kudzu. And as we kept going up the hill, it started turning to like basically a mountain. And we just kept going up. And as he was talking, still talking about energy, I was looking out the window, and as I was looking out the window, I noticed I was seeing all these different countries and worlds. You know, it was like, and the sun and the moon just kept going up and down, right? Just kept going up and down. The whole time we're talking about energy. And at the top of the hill, I don't know if you ever seen Jay Dilla's Donuts, but I saw this giant sign for a donut sign. It was the same sign as, you know, as a Dilla Donuts. And it was this diner. And you know how in dreams you just kind of know things, even though you're not actually seeing it. In this dream, in the diner, I could tell I could get like some rare 45s and chicken and waffles at the same time, and would have been great. And I was standing there, I could see the whole world, and this time the sun and the moon now were both up at the same time, just equally powerful, equally shining, and I could see everything. To the left, it was daytime, and the right, it was like nighttime. It was crazy, and he was like, "Well," and I was like, I'm home. But we kept driving. I never got out the car. We kept driving. I started coming back down the hill. We started getting close to home. And the driver asked me, he goes, are you ready to go home? And all I said was no. And then I woke up. Y'all ain't really friends. Y'all just share the same sins. And if it weren't for them vices, y'all be lifeless in the wind. So viva la bullshit. Push us from that pulpit. Smoking black and miles in the alley. Thought we was cool shit. From belly puffing to freaking, I'm taking full hits. The dry humping the freaking freaks with them full hips. Oh, that's that new lick. Mommy on that pool stick. Swear to God we had it figured out, but we was clueless. Leaders of the new school. Foolish. When I first started curling my toes around African soil, I wanted to play everything. From Eighth Light to Thieves in the Night to It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right. To Rapper's Delight, from Marley to Lee of Spike, from chess to soccer, from son to father. I wanted to chase the tail of the snake that mambas. Mamba is an African game that the children play. The tail of the snake that mambas. To throw javelins at wild things that gave birth while running. To baby legs stumbling beneath heartbeats, stumping that baseline of all baselines, vibrating through the waistline. I didn't want to waste time because some dreams don't last long, you know. So I began to spit prose through rows of griots in a language so old it felt new again. I felt tan skin drums sing new songs through my palms. I watched day break beats in the psalms and shalom. So there was sky in my mouth and storms in my shoulders. Live a moment, 2 timers for minutes to play rover. I mean roll over. Can you hear me now? I am DJ. But been nowhere, and I am dreaming of Africa. Now, Lord knows, there's way too much orange and white in volunteer country for this to ever be Africa. So my elder tells me, brother, you're probably dreaming of something different in the here and after, something like intergalactical travelers, you know, the homeless ones that like to bum a dime or two from you and tuck it inside their shoes and then walk across change every time they make moves. Their feet crack, bleed, bruise, and never heal smooth. That price you pay when you sway day to day, like mama used to say, without a clue. Without a DJ clue, screaming, no shit, over ones and twos. And sister ain't no half stepping. I figured we better lace these shoes and face the blues that paid the dues for rock and groove, hip-hop, her mood, Tupac, his jewels improve through turbo. Even a mullet can look smooth. It's true, this butts for you, so light it and keep it lit while we rewind hits of techniques that don't wobble when we party and bullshit and party and bullshit. I want a B-boy, barefooted, back to the basics, dance around waterproof flames with paint on our faces and the teeth around this necklace. I'm gonna need it to bear the tiger's name that ate the gazelle, that ate the quail, that ate the cricket, and brought balance back to the morning. I am storming over you. I find most rap music boring. Dude, I'm in freedom writing, freedom riding now. Kiss my queen, woke up dying in that sweet land of Zion where the lamb eats lion, and the elders told me that I am the sun rays that break away in the cave between the braids of the children who play beneath the limbs that bend and sway over MLK, that I am traveling waters. I splash along the shoes of our daughters who hopscotch harder because chalk lines are always hotter around sons and fathers often slaughtered within this path. Our math is chaotic and it bitch slaps logic until nauseous with understanding of all the minions within our dominions, our various opinions blending into a page. At the end of the day, every rapper, preacher, poet, speaker is only trying to say, I am afraid. DJ been nowhere. The sun is rising and falling. I watched it often go from golden to auburn. Thought I had missed my calling, so I started walking toward the end, with light toward the dark end. Noticed time clocking, niggas dropping in they coffin. I thought my heart was stopping, but they kept on beatboxing like, come on, let's go. We time to spit the flow. Come on, let's go. It's time to rip the show and grow beyond everything we think that we know. And there's something you don't understand. Living life with a permanent tan. Really hard to make a 10-year plan when your death isn't hiding, man. And every Sunday they gon' raise their hands, turn around and go slay again. All my sisters and brothers, like God do not love us, you sick mother. I am Motown. I am pink hair oil brown. I am dirty down south, get it crunk with a woe pound. I am African medallion, wild styling with miles. I am church style, fish frying the cod. I am 3/5 human, cause I'm 2/5 God. I had the mob like a squad to even out all the odds. Cause man, I swear, if y'all don't comb your hair, if you don't crease your jeans and your underwear, then I'm gonna be right there with the hell no stares. Cause I'm cool and black, baby, you so black, baby, cool and black. Everybody around the world can see I am so black, baby, you so black, baby, cool and black. Everybody around the world. I am blacker than it suits me, enough to spot a cutie. Could tell you if it's jeans or if she's really got a booty. Could stop around the block pimp walking in a kufi. Man, I'm black enough to understand why Bud loved Rudy. As the weed around sushi, Robert Townsend movies. I'm black enough to know a couple niggas named Mookie, a Pookie, a Trudy. I know a couple Ootsies, know a couple hood rats, way too bougie. I'm black as Robert Townsend movies. Black as Leroy Green. Could tell you about the movie and exactly which scenes are my fave. Black as Willie Mays, Percy Graves. Blacker than the souls of the owners of slaves. I'm black as half afros, half flat tops. Late for your cut, walking around with a frocks. As the man, the first transplant hearts. As the splendor and spark. As the fire that bursts. Blacker than the first man to walk this earth. I'm black. Thank you. I don't know how I'm doing on time.
That was awesome.
Thank
oh my
you.
gosh, you got some serious bars, my friend.
I try to keep it sharp.
Awesome. I love it. I mean, so many great lines, and that dream is insane.
Thank you.
Great. Listen, I'm going to bring you back up at the end. I popped in I think your SoundCloud for Black Atticus, but if there's another address you want me to share with people so that they can check out your work, definitely an Instagram handle or anything, let me know and I'll pop it in the chat. But thank you again. Oh my God, that was so great. Awesome. Oh my gosh, this has just been such a treat. Black Atticus, that was great. And Mabrey's been fabulous. We're going to finish off tonight with Dupree, who is here in Greenville, South Carolina. He's a member of the Say What Slam team. I'm going to go ahead and read his official bio. I was thinking the other day that in my mind, sometimes Dupree is one of the newer poets on the scene, but he was maybe new like 7 years ago. He has become quite the veteran. He finished 8th at the Southern Fried Poetry Slam this year as an individual. He also was the King of the South champion in 2021. He's got tons of phenomenal slam titles. Dupree is a poet, lyricist, actor, youth advocate, business owner, and much more. He is the 2021 King of the South champion and top 10 Southern Fried Poetry Slam finalist. His goal in his music and poetry is to ignite, impact, and inspire. He's also a teaching artist where he goes into schools to incorporate music, poetry, and rap across the curriculum, and is the recipient of the 2020 Carrie and Skip Gordon Emerging Teaching Artist Award from the Metropolitan Arts Council. Dove's other honors include a 2-time Mayan Industry Award winner for Best Supporting Actor and Best Original Piece, a Writers' Ball Best Original Piece winner, and countless spoken word titles around the country. He's been a part of the award-winning spoken word team Say What over the past 5 years, which is ranked 5th at the National Poetry Slam. So please give a warm virtual round of applause for Mr. Dupree.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just like when you're talking about, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. It's because we're in the same town, number one, and we're not in the same location, which is weird.
It is. It's like, oh, Kim, wow, that's our living room. That's interesting. No.
All right, friend.
Thank you. How much time do I have? An hour and a half? Hour and a half, you said?
Yeah, you have 13 and a half minutes. Everyone else has 15, but I know you go over, so.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Kim.
Okay, I'll see you in a minute.
How y'all doing? It's good to see y'all. Clearly I can't see any of you guys, but I'm imagining there's a million people chanting and raving about wits and poetry and the opportunities that Kimberly has brought. Also me, it'd be nice if y'all start chanting. For me, that's cool too. I hope you guys want to hear a poem because I got a couple, and I'm going to share something with y'all. So life can be really messy sometimes. Luckily, I was always taught to clean up after myself. Bro, you better get these dishes out my sink before I get back. Boy, if you don't get your drawers out the middle of the floor, I'm gonna smack. No, but more importantly, I was always taught to leave a place better than I found it. But I'm like, no, I gotta clean this mess up. I didn't do it. So you telling me if they make a mess, I'm supposed to clean it up? Their dirt, their dishes, their floor. Why do I gotta clean up behind somebody else? She said, don't you live here too? I said, yes, ma'am. But it's not my fault. I just feel as if I shouldn't have to. She said, it doesn't matter if you're fault. Now it's your responsibility. Even if you didn't do it, you have to leave this place better than you found it. And y'all, the older I got, the more I realized she wasn't just talking about places. She was talking about people. Leaving people better than you found them. One day, you might walk into a room full of broken people. Even though you did not break them, you might just have to fix them. More often than not, you will have to sanitize a man's view on how to respect a woman. You might have to Windex the lies she tells herself. Tell her you can see right through her, even push broom a father back in his kid's life. But sometimes it just gets so exhausting cleaning up behind other people. Eventually, you get tired of the Clorox on your palms and you want to say, I didn't do it. He broke her heart. Why do I have to fix it? It's not my fault. Well, it might not have been your fault, but now it's your responsibility. Even if you didn't do it, you have to leave this world better than you found it. Now, we may never be ending up perfectly spotless, but we can still ask ourselves, did we leave someone else better than we found them? With a smile, with a laugh, some good thoughts, something. Because if not, then I declare this poem our spring cleaning. Because I want to be spit shine for your shoe. No, that's weird. No, I want to be pine saw for your soul. I want to be what happens when Captain Planet gives Mr. Clean a pep talk. And there are some days my inner janitor doesn't want to show up to work. And I'll need you to help mop the tears from my eyes, recycle them so they can rinse away the negative thoughts from my mind. Teach me how to forgive myself from my past mistakes, y'all. Can you imagine if you went the extra mile to improve somebody's life you may never see again? And isn't that what life is about? Making sure your next generation is greater than the one that is right now. There is a saying that goes, you are only sitting in shade today because someone else planted a tree a long time ago. So when are we going to stop leaving messes and start leaving seeds? I mean, we litter so many bad thoughts anyway because we convinced ourselves someone else is going to clean up after us. But what if they don't? What if they think just like her or him or me or you? And we keep leaving this world a mess like we are expecting a maid. We are the housekeeping. We need to realize we only have one world, y'all. And if you leave your mark on it and it never comes off, did you leave this place better than you found it? Or just a bigger mess for someone else to clean up? If you see a chance to clean up this world, take it. It doesn't have to be your fault. But now it's your responsibility. Even if you didn't do it, you have to leave this place better than you found it. Because after all, don't you live here too? Thank y'all. Thank you. You know, I'm going to clap for myself because there's nobody here. I'm in this parking lot performing my heart out for the poem. And nobody can hear me but me. I hope y'all clapping. If not, I hope somebody's touched. So I wrote that a couple years ago, and I just think that's true in itself. The necessity that we have to really just uplift each other. I know so many people have different religions and different walks of life and on all these things. I think it is so important that we leave this place better than we found it. We live somebody's life better than we found it, because we're still affected by it, right? I mean, if you have a daughter, but you're a horrible father, that you're leaving your daughter a mess, and now she's going to leave guys that she dates a mess because of things that you did. And you can easily say, nah, I didn't do it. I didn't start this mess. My dad started it, my girlfriend, my wife, my whoever. But you have to be the one to take initiative. That's the only thing that makes the world a better place, is you taking initiative to make the world a better place. So I appreciate y'all. So the next poem I'm going to do, I actually wrote it years ago, probably like 4 years ago at this point. And I think I only performed it like 3 times, like at a new piece slam, and I just like never did it again for some reason. I don't know why. But I kind of like it, and I hope y'all like it too. If you don't like it, then yes you do. Wait, I'm sorry. I was thinking about this joke. It's funny. Y'all want to hear it? Y'all want to hear it? So y'all don't. All right, never mind. Y'all won't get it. All right, whatever. I'll tell you. So, all right. So I used to work at an elementary school, right? And I would see these kids, and I just be like, dang, I can't wait to be a husband and a father, raise my kids the right way, teach them how to be brave. Like I'm gonna be the best dad ever. Then society was like, how you gonna be a good father when you've never seen yours? Be serious. I said, well, well, I know I won't be perfect, but I'll give them all the things I never had, teach them how to make society mistake them for an entrepreneur instead of a convict, how to put our goals so high, asteroids crash into them. Don't even say, excuse me, I told them we're going to be self-made millionaires. It said, how you going to be an entrepreneur when you still work for somebody? Get serious. I said, I know, but I'm still building. One day, I'm gonna own my own rec center and lead the children. It said, how you gonna lead the children with your childhood? Get serious. And I'm wondering what happened to it to make it so serious, because it kept trying to tell me how serious life is, and the only response I could give to it was life said, I didn't tell a joke. I said, oh no, yes, you did. So you tried to tell me that I had no future because of my past, and that is a good one. Life said, would you be serious for 1 second? I said, I'm sorry. Maybe you don't find obstacles as funny as I do, but sometimes if you laugh hard enough, your problems don't seem as big. But it seems like life comes at you too fast, tends to smack the smirk off you. Because then life gave me that serious face, that 50% of all marriages end in divorce, so why get married face, or that, boy, you'll be paycheck to paycheck until your funeral day face, or that face that I made when my mom was in a hospital years back and the pessimist was like, that don't look too good. See, I am fully aware that life can cause tears to run down your cheek and put an erosion where your smile used to be, but I got chuckles for days. See, I control my joy, and if you try to oppress it, I got smiles on standby ready for a protest. Life said, there is nothing funny. Your mom was in a hospital for 3 days for a stroke. I said, yeah, you're right. But she's walking just fine now. See, my smile may be a joke to you, but you don't have to get it. See, I developed an internal kind of joy, the one you will never understand unless you've been through what I've been through. Sometimes a laugh can save your life. When circumstances try to, all jokes aside, your peace fracture your funny bone so you can't take life's joke anymore. So if you see me smiling or laughing during a thunderstorm, understand this joy is just an insider. Because I remember when life convinced me to look myself in the mirror and say, you are a failure with a straight face. But now, every time I try, every, every, every time I try, I laugh like I just can't take you serious. Life said, you seem to think this is one big joke. I said, no. I just found the humor in the punchlines even when you tried to knock me out. And you telling me that I can't be great because the bad joke life tried to play on me, that, my friend, is a knee slapper. So I will laugh when I'm sad. I'll laugh when I'm stressed. I'll laugh till it don't look too good. Looks like it is well. Then life started laughing too. It said, okay, so I guess it was a joke when you said that you're actually going to be somebody then too. And I said, well, yeah. Oh no, I was serious. Thank you. Sounds like y'all clapping to me. Sounds like y'all clapping. We're poets are sensitive about our stuff, so if you don't clap, then I think y'all want to throw tomatoes or boo me off the stage or something like that. And that's not too cool. That's not too cool. I'm not sure how much time I got. I feel like both of those poems are like 17 minutes long. Kim, just come in and interrupt me. If I'm going over time, I don't know how much time I have left. I might have time for one more poem. I feel like when I leave here, when I leave the earth, I want people to remember me by leaving a positive impact. And it sounds cliche, but I feel like it sounds more cliche to people who don't really want to do it and aren't committed to that. I'm not gonna, proclaim myself as perfect. Like I don't have flaws and I don't have faults, but I know I got a purpose. And I feel like if you're walking in your purpose, then you know better. And I know that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to inspire and to impact and to change the world. One person, one laugh, one tear, one testimony, one poem at a time. And that's exactly what I intend to do. So I'm gonna do another poem, which is still one of my favorite poems. Gradually creeped up. It's called Lemons, and I wrote this a couple years ago. Just evaluating my life, kind of things that I've been able to overcome, and I know we've all overcome some things. We've all been able to climb mountains and get over some things, and we're still going through some things. But shout out to all my optimists out there. Shout out to all my people who don't give up. Shout out to all my people that look storms in the face and say, "Come with it. I'm right here, and I ain't going nowhere. Life's tough, but I know the one." I know the one who holds the keys, and that's God. Yeah, I got joy right now. All right, so they say when life gives you lemons, you're supposed to somehow make lemonade, right? But I feel like whoever made that up was probably not being simply honest. Okay. They were from a different country time. No, okay. Had to have one of them just add water kind of lives. You know, where everything is already done for you, right? Like you never had to make a glass of triumph or overcome or victory from scratch in your entire life because something just don't taste right about you. What are your ingredients? You know, like testimony, like journey, like how'd you make a fortune out of your misfortune? Because of course everybody saw you on the mountaintop, but nobody saw you climb it. Y'all talk all that Tropicana, but y'all never want to talk recipe. And now I got a bitter taste in my mouth because life never silver spoon fed me the answers. Didn't even leave me a measuring cup to see just how much more I can take. No, life hands you lemons, turns its back on you, expects a lemonade stand by tomorrow, and wonder why your face be so sour. It's probably because life expects for you to pour a gallon of good father out of yourself when your real one didn't give 2 teaspoons about you. Life expects a cup of millionaire mindset where you've been taught to sit broke mentality your whole life. Life be like, why don't you be a teacher? When your role models were all dropouts, life will John Hancock your eviction notice, strike you paraplegic, and dare you to chase your dreams boldly, be the bearer of bad news, borrow a cup of sugar from your joy, and never give it back. Your life will wake you up in a Snapple and eliminate any dreams that you got. So I don't know how. I'm supposed to just make lemonade out of lemons. I can only suggest 1 gram of faith, 2 pints of everything I had to overcome just to get here, a tub of I wish you would tell me what I can't do, 1 pinch of perseverance without the preservatives, 2 tablespoons of here goes nothing, 3 cups of don't call it a comeback, a sprinkle of I'm about to turn this water to wine, and a dash of don't believe me, just watch. Stirred that thing up with a full glass of optimism, took a sip of myself. I realized life never gave me lemons. No, life gave lemons me. Y'all, is it more rewarding when your ingredients are real, y'all? There is nothing artificial in my soul. My story is organic, ain't nothing splendor about me. I took a long time to get this batch just right, and I was worth every rotation because you can't buy my battle scars. My journey can't be mixed in 60 seconds. I'm so much more than what a minute made. No, when life gives you lemons, you tell life to bring the whole orchard. Because the sweetest thing about obstacles, y'all, the sweetest thing is squeezing every lemon into a glass of miracle and leave the world wondering Oh, you did it. Thank you. Thank you. I hear claps. I hear claps. Somebody love me, y'all.
That was awesome. I love that poem, Lemons. It's one of my favorites. Great imagery. I think you performed that Southern Fried, or that's one. I think that's almost your signature piece at this point.
It might be.
So before we kind of bring everyone back up here, how can people learn more about your work? Where can they follow you at?
Well, I'm about to be super famous, guys. Just give me some time. Just give me some time. Hold your horses. No, I'm just really working on a lot behind the scenes. But you can find me, Dove Dupree, on all major platforms. So that's Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Instagram. I'm Dove Dupree or Dove Dupree Music. And I'm just working on some things to start to get things really, really rolling like they should have been a while ago. So I'm just happy for this opportunity here. Just to continue keeping the ball rolling.
Awesome. Now, were you doing some youth mentoring earlier today?
Yes. So I have that. I signed up basically all summer, and I don't know how I said yes. I say yes to a lot of things without even double checking with logic. But to this week I was doing, so the kids are doing week-long camps, and they can be anywhere from, I guess, any K-12, kindergarten all the way to middle school. And this particular week I had I think second graders and fifth graders, and then I had pretty much middle schoolers in my other class. So I did one of them. I did flag football, and then the other one I was doing basically a music mixing class. So kind of teaching the middle schoolers how to make some beats, how to mix it all together, and how to have some fun with it.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm gonna bring Ed and Black Atticus up here so we can have a little chat before I let everybody go. Hey, Ed.
Hello.
And Ed, I'm gonna you're unmuted. How are you? And I think Black Atticus will be with us in just a second.
Yes.
This is quite a powerhouse, by the way. Just amazing. Just an hour of amazing is what this has been. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I'm really a very selfish curator. I just book people I really want to hang out with, to be perfectly honest. This has been really great. One of the things I did want to ask all of you is, most of you have come to Southern Fried, and of course do tons of stuff outside of the Southern Fried Poetry Slam Festival. But when you think back to those first couple of years that you came, how do you think Southern Fried just kind of shaped you as an artist, or what kind of impact did it have on you, either artistically or just as giving you community?
That's
a toughie. That's a toughie.
That's a great question. I can start. I know for me, I've had the rare opportunity. I don't know if you ever heard of Alternate Roots, but I was as a young man getting into poetry, I looked up and got with the Carpetbag Theater, which is like the oldest, longest running African American theater company in the nation, possibly the world now. Anyway, took me down to Alternate Roots, and it was like my first time ever getting to be around other artists. And it was the first time I was like, I don't feel strange. I don't feel weird. You know what I'm saying? People around me who take creativity and they chase it, you know what I'm saying? And you don't feel, weird. But then you turn around and take me to Southern Fried, right? And now this is artists who dabble in my particular form of creativity, who dance with words, and work with the fire. You know what I'm saying? That was a whole nother type of level of like just feeling at home, And I don't know about the rest of the poets, man, but when we went other regionals, man, I didn't feel real welcomed. When the National Poetry Slam was going on, we go up there and they treat us like we talk slow and can't think quick or something, and it just wasn't the same as far as getting down south and getting to hear, the honesty in the gut. The gut of the South, man. We speak from the heart. And don't get me wrong, our pen game nasty too, but I don't know. It just felt more like, okay, now I'm home.
Absolutely. Awesome. That's so true. Ed, what about you?
What have I learned or have I grown through my Southern Fried experience?
Yeah, or just how has it impacted you, I guess. However you want to interpret that.
It's I mean, all poetry events are a hella impact. Southern Fried as an organization and as a community of majority, like highly majority Black people, can't say people of color, it's majority Black people, was very enriching for me because I came up in the Midwest, in Ohio, poetry scenes there that were mixed. But there was a core group of Black people, and I hadn't had that. I hadn't had that positive experience. I grew up in Cincinnati and Dayton, so I had plenty of experience being around Black people, but very I don't know a nice way to say it, so I can't say it. Very what we call nowadays inner city urban. I guess the best way to phrase it. My D-Mix way, it was me and my niggas, and we very much had that mentality. And we embraced everything ghetto and everything project and thought it was all beautiful. And then the poetry scene was like, no, it's okay to read a book. It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to have a feeling. Where I grew up in a generation where like poetry was for girls. And if you read poetry or liked poetry as a boy, you were called a lot of things that were slurs and now are definitely slurs. But at the time we didn't consider them as slurs because how we've been brainwashed, right? So you were called something to make yourself feel less than. So then getting into poetry because I got in much later in life. I wasn't a kid, and I got in much later in life. And to have that community of Black people who cared about you from a perspective of all I know about you is your writing. And I want to invest in you because of the work that you do was a new thing for me. We didn't even have that in teachers, in the school system. No one cared about you. I had teachers tell me, you're going to play football or you're going to deal drugs. So why should I even help you tutor? Like just literally. So then fast forward through the PSI experience, through the national experience, which, you know, every community or society has their ups and downs. It has ups, has downs. But then to get introduced to Southern Fried, and once I moved to North Carolina, and cats like, yo, you got to do Southern Fried. And I was like, what the hell's a Southern Fried? And like, oh, you get moon pies and RC. And I was like, I don't like moon pies, but I love RC. So, you know, we got a balance there. So if I win, I get RC Cola. And I'm a fat kid and I'm a fat guy. So like I was stuck on RC Cola. And I went, but it was basically like if the other slam scene on a large national level was going to a college, a four-year college, this was like going to Howard. It was like an instant HBCU experience. And having never went to college, I was like, oh, like this is like there's grown Black folks and there's a lot of different grown Black folks. And no matter what we look like and where they came from, the one thing they had in common was the word. And people who know me know I don't care about anything but the work. So the word was there. I was good. So it's helped me grow. It's definitely helped me as a human being grow. It's helped me in terms of actually Black on Black relationships as an adult grow and learn. How, like what Atticus was saying, how people were perceived, because it was a time in that other national community where Southern poets were considered to be less than or slower than. And I remember when Outkast got up their historic Grammy thing, was like, yeah, the South is here and the South got something to say and we ain't going anywhere. How that coincided with the poetry movement in the South. And being a Midwest boy, I was kind of in between. So we needed to respect the East Coast or to respect to the South. We the corny Midwest. I bet y'all got cows and farms and stuff. No, I'm in the hood. What the hell are you talking about? So it was a very wonderful experience. It still is a great experience. I make sure to mention Southern Fried anywhere I go to let people know like I'm part of that community and society of people. I'm very honored to I do my best to represent it as well as I can when I travel, because I believe if you have to represent the communities you're part of, so people see that, oh, you're a reflection of that thing. And I've actually hopefully encouraged other folks to come and see that thing, you know. So it's helped me a lot. It's helped me a lot, and that's a very long, winding road to say that. It's helped me a lot grow as a person. I've definitely grown as an artist. People like Atticus and Dove have challenged me in slam and then challenged me outside of slam as a writer to be a better writer, a better performer, and a better person.
Awesome. Dove, you want to speak on that?
Oh, thank you, Ed. So I guess my first Southern Fried is 2014 when I came to Greenville, when it was actually in Greenville. And then I guess my next one was 2016 or 17. But I think for me, when I came to South Carolina, like my poetry was more so I would rap and just slow the words down. I would just do raps and then just kind of slow the words down and then perform. And then coming to the South and then joining the poetry community and then being on the teams for Southern Fried, like, I mean, I really cherish that. I think there's something, and I was talking to, you know, some of my team members and past team members and things like that, are just about how much I just miss it. Like, I miss the competition of it, because I guess like this wasn't I didn't know about this, you know, years ago, you know, when I was coming up writing raps and writing some poetry and stuff like that. Like, I didn't know about something like this for us. Like this, there could be a place for people who just write poems and who just write raps and stuff like that for us, and to find out that there was, I don't know. I think it helps me. It does challenge me to write different, and I think it's a family reunion kind of thing as well, when you get to see some family and some friends. Like I met somebody who has the same birthday as me, and obviously eventually somebody's gonna have the same birthday as you, but it's cool to be like, oh shoot, homie, we're basically twins. You're like 5 years older, but we're basically the same person. But I don't know. I think it's a great experience that taught me a lot about teamwork and how to develop more pieces, how to work together team, and to be able to take that even further than something like Southern Fried. But I think that the group piece aspect and being able to tell a story as a group, I thought that was a beautiful thing, and I've never seen that before, especially live. And so I think Southern Fried it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot. It was a great thing.
And one other kind of add-on question, because I think when you first come in as a young poet, there is it's just a certain amount of wonder just from the whole experience. And then I think there's this other element when you're now a developed, you're a professional poet. And what do you see as the impact and your connection with Southern Fried now that you are a professional poet, and how your relationship has changed with Southern Fried as, from going from an emerging poet first coming to Southern Fried and now being an established poet, still coming back.
Wow.
Because I think there's a lot of opportunities for mentorship, but also, continual growth, but also just kind of looking back to it, younger people, and seeing yourself reflected. I think sometimes, I don't know, Ed, if you wanted to, I'm going to pick on Ed because he's been around almost as long as I have been.
Because I'm old.
Almost.
What?
That's ageism.
That's ageism. I believe you.
I was already somewhat, big ass air quotes, established when I entered the Southern Fried world or universe. So I was already somewhat established. I was already touring profession. I was already, paying my bills with it, etc. Things, of course, have increased since that time. So your question is, how do I feel about how it is, what I've seen? Like, why do I keep going back?
Yeah, and how are you interacting with kind of the next generation? And also, why do you keep going back?
The going back part is tricky. I don't know why I keep going back.
I can't stop.
No, it's very enriching. Every year I kind of find a different reason in terms of the competition. And then I find a reason for that. I say, if this year I don't have a reason, I won't go. Like, it's just that simple.
Right.
So I've done it with other events. If there's no reason, there's no driving factor, I won't go. I had a very specific set of things that had to happen this year for me to do it. And they happened within the week prior to doing it, or I wasn't even doing it. I was just going to tune in and watch. As far as mentorship, I would love it. What I think about the quote unquote younger people, I think every generation has a voice, and it's necessary to be heard and appreciated and respected. The moment you start getting old is the moment you think everybody has to talk and think the way you do. We do that all the time in hip hop. Oh, trap music is horrible, and why are these women naked shaking their booties, and why are these men wearing girls' clothes? And you go, did you look at Tupac? Did you see Dre in makeup back in the day? Did you see, like, did you really pay attention to your generation and what was being said? Like, oh yeah, we did have 2 Live Crew. I apologize. Let's back up.
Yeah.
You check the poetry. You go, oh well, I've heard this poem before. I've heard this subject matter before. I've heard this before, but you haven't heard it from this person's perspective. which is all you want. You haven't heard from this generation. They have to go through, as much as you want to try to rush them through certain phases, like, hey, skip this phase, jump to this phase. They have to go through it just like we went through it, because we weren't going to listen to anybody else either. So learn from that voice. I believe in doing what Miles Davis did, was he continuously surrounded himself with younger people, younger and smarter people. What made him him was always having younger, smarter people around him. And that's what kept his sound fresh. And it wasn't that he was stealing from them. He was going, oh, that's where you're going. It makes me look at this and approach it differently. So I actually enjoy doing things that people going, oh, this person has a version of your poem. Cool, let me go hear it. Because maybe they took it a direction I didn't go. You know, as long as it's not straight up plagiarism. But beyond that, like, oh, they went this way with it. Oh, I'll take what they did and now rewrite something myself. So you can keep going. I love the idea of mentorship. I love the idea of giving back. I proposed this when PSI was a thing. I proposed it for Southern Fried, where I think the winners should be forced to take a year off, but still come to the event the next year as volunteers. You know, the winning team should come back strictly as in an ambassador capacity. You know, we're not really here to tell you what venue to go to, but we are here in special colored shirts, and we are the ambassadors of this following year. Indian team, like, we're going to come back and we're going to show you around. We're going to basically just be the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck of this Disney World you're into. They're going to go, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, we're last year's champs. How you doing? How you doing? You know, we need to go with the beers over here, the food's over there, the chickens, you know, like, you know, the poetry after the cipher. And then the next year you can come back and compete, but just, you know, and I know people say, well, that's convenient for me to say, considering my record at Southern Fried. But I felt that way 10 years ago with the PSI stuff that you were part of at Nationals. I was big on do a year, take a year off. One, it helps you, it forces you to reinvest into that community. It forces you to see it from the outside looking in. To see, like, how does this work for poets? What do the poets truly need? What does this community really need? So I'm excited now that you mentioned Dove and he talked about his first year. And I still think of Dove as being extremely young, like a kid, because of how long I've been doing it. But I realize he's been around for quite some time now. So I don't know what they consider me, to be honest. I think every 2 years to every 3 years, if you look at Poetry Slam like high school, so your first year, you're a freshman. The second year you do it, you're a senior. The third year you do it, you're a senior in college. And then the fourth year you do it, you're not even supposed to be doing it anymore. So like you go from 9th grade to 12th grade to senior in college, and then you're an old person. Right? And that's how it works. I remember Gian Mazawa coming on one time, and he was like, wow, Ed, they looking at me like I'm a vet, like I'm an OG. I'm like, dude, you're like 24. He's like, yeah, but like in Poetry Slam years, like I'm old. He's like, how do they look at you? And I was like, that's the whole point. They're like, I'm obsolete. Like, I'm Dick Clark. I've been around so long, they assume that I'm actually dead. They keep me on the machine. They just wheel me out once a year, put me in front of the microphone, I read poems, and put me back in the machine. You know, cryogenesis is a beautiful thing. So it's dope. It's dope. I love all these cats. I think we definitely should give back. Hopefully our presence will be a competition or whatever is a way of giving back. The poems are a way of giving back.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
What year was your first Southern Fried?
Oh,
what was? I think New Orleans was my first one.
Okay.
Which one?
2003.
New Orleans.
I think 2003 was New Orleans, because the next year was the World Poetry Slam in 2004.
No. That's I'm not that far back. The second time New Orleans had it.
Second one.
2013.
Either that or when it was in Ybor City. One of those two was my first one.
Okay.
Was that after Austin?
Southern Fried was in Austin?
Yo, it was after Austin, Texas, dude. Wow.
Oh yeah, I never did Southern Fried Austin. I never did Atlanta. I did New Orleans when Catalyst had it, or initially had it, and then things kind of fell apart. And then Ybor was Life and whoever had it in that area. Whichever one of those years came first.
Wow.
In my head, I don't remember which one came first.
But you were doing national events, because didn't you do the World Poetry Slam in 2004?
Yeah.
Your name was known. I was saying his name was known. His name was already known.
I did the first iWhips in Greenville. I did the first iWhips, all that good jazz. See, I've been doing slam nationally or world level before I went to a Southern Fried. I just started doing Southern Fried until I moved to Charlotte.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think I went to one and I watched it, because I was in town on tour. I didn't know what it was. That might
Like
have been
in 06 or something. I think they
something
had.
like, yeah, I was in
yeah.
tour and I was like, what is this? Like, who are all these people? Oh, it's a big event. And I was like, that's what's up. And I watched from it, like, cool, bye. And I, went back to my room. And then if someone's like, this Southern Fried, and I was like, is that what that was? When I moved to Charlotte, and then Blues and Slam Charlotte has a wonderful legacy when it comes to Southern Fried. So I got to be part of that legacy and come in there. But yeah, it hasn't been that long. Like, it feels like it has, but it hasn't been that long. It was New Orleans or Ybor.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Atticus, what year was your first year?
Oh man, don't get me lying. No. Oh, okay. Oh, it was like I know it was Alabama.
I was 06. Alabama was 06, wasn't it?
Damn, wow. Was it 06? Nah, I wasn't in the was I in the poetry that fast?
I think Alabama was 06.
I know Black and Black. I know Black and Black. Ron was there. What was
Birmingham.
the year? It was the year that Anis Mahanji was on final stage.
That may have been 07, actually.
Yeah. That's the first time I ever got wind of Southern Fried, and I was just like, "What the hell?" I remember first coming in. All the seasoned Southern Fried, they see this new team coming in. They was looking at us like, like they was Cobra Kai, like who are these motherfuckers, And I was like, oh man, I was like, is it beef already? We just got here,
Beef already.
But after the first 9 of bouts, all that disappeared, man. It was family, you know what I'm saying? It was it was just the competition of it all. And my thing is like, that was my whole draw to slam in the first place. The audacity to judge art, man. The audacity. We're gonna bring it in. We're gonna tell you if it's 0 to 10, you suck, or you are the god. That's how it was. I love that. I love that. So, Southern Fried brought it. So they brought it to the table. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I can't tell you how many of my brothers, man, rest his soul, man. Tavis, when he came to Knoxville, man, I never forget it, man. Right before my team smacked his team's ass. Anyway, right before that, man, right before the bout, man, Tavis was like, Black, I love you. You my brother, man. But for the next hour, fuck you. We are not friends. And that's how the culture is. I loved it.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, fierce in the bout. And then just, I think I was talking to Paul D. Dorian Paul Rogers and I had a chat 12:30, so definitely want to encourage everyone to go and check that out. I'm going to reshare it again in a minute, but he was saying a similar thing. You can be in a bout with somebody, you're going fierce, and there's protests or whatever, and then 3 o'clock in the morning, y'all are hanging out together, drinking beer, sharing poetry, and
it's real family. It's kind of cool. But what I gotta say is that one. Slam is not the same thing as holding down a feature. Slam is not the same thing as getting published, becoming an artist. One thing it does teach you is how to storm a stage.
Absolutely.
I do love the camaraderie of anytime I'm involved in something and I can say to myself, hey man, we rumble with the best. We rumble with the best. You know what I'm saying? We are, you know what I'm saying? You're getting to see masters at work, the masters of your generation, you know what I'm saying? Which is gotta mean something. And then at the same time, it's like, when Southern Fried's over, man, I got Ed's number, man. I got, like I called Ed up, man, randomly. Dude hit me with one of the dopest writing prompts I ever heard in my life, man. I was mad at him for about 3 days. I was like, dang, Ed, really? You know what I'm saying? Who does this? You know what I mean? But like you get access, and then at the same time, it's also like, even the poets I don't know that personally, but to see them grow, like when I see John Good or whatever on national TV. Yeah. When I see Blues, writing for NASCAR, when I see these, like, it's something about like Ed was talking about, when you come from the hood and then it's one thing to see people that are famous that look like you. It's another thing to know them. Like, I know that dude, right? I seen him I seen him in a cipher at Southern Fried, roasting it and kicking it and getting sloppy, and then you see him winning, and then it's like. That all comes along with that, besides the sharing pro information, like how to take your stuff to the next level. It's just, it's a beautiful, beautiful community to be
absolutely a part of. I think that's such a good point about the idea that you have emerging poets and veteran poets all mixing it up together. You're hanging out with your heroes. There's people that you've seen on YouTube, and now you're like chilling out with them. And then that cycles on. You know, the new people become the veterans. And Doug, did you want to speak on that as our younger? But you're old now. I mean, to everyone else, they're
You know
gonna
what's
be.
funny with that? I was in a play tour one time, and for the duration of it, and like we just did like tours to like a couple like states or whatever. But it was like I was always the like young guy. I was always the youngest person. I was always the youngest cast member. And like now it's just weird getting like older, and it's like, yo, there's somebody younger than me, and I'm not the baby anymore. Just changing my outlook on things. Like I'm not the youngest poet on the teams anymore. Like I'm not I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah,
But I do like what you said, Black Atticus, about Southern Fried and like slam teaching you to storm the stage, because I don't know. I think there's a certain art, you know, with being able to be, you know, visually amazing on stage. And you know, obviously I act, and I have a theater background, so I'm able to, you know, to kind of channel character or whatever, things like that. But it's like slam, it teaches you, you know, it's a competition, and Southern Fried, you see everybody else and you're like, oh man, like, yo, they just did, yeah, that's dope. He did it like that. Like somebody told me about a piece with shoot, I forgot his name, from New Jeru, and I like stepped out the room. I think it was like 2 years ago. I stepped out the room, and he said he had a group piece. Somebody said they had a group piece with another dude, and it was basically, I guess, how like sometimes like walking down the streets at night, some chocolate people are scared to like talk to each other because they think they're about to do something, but they both think, you know, or he might have a gun, he might do something, whatever like this, but then they pass each other. It was like, whew, like everything was okay. Like I missed that whole thing, and I'm like, oh, like I know that was dope. Like I know they did this, and I know they probably did this or whatever it is like that. And it's like the competition aspect, it does teach you how to come with it. Like, yeah, I mean, you can be a great page poet. Shout out to Ed Mabrey, wherever he is in the world. But like I remember like Sapient Soul, like killing stuff on paper and just being like super dope. But I think me being a stage person for many reasons, being able to use Southern Fried as like a wow. So you really got to bring it. Like you really, when you come with it, you got to bring it. So
yeah, I think everybody pushes each other to the next level. Like I think that's what happens with slam. You come in and you're like, I'm the dopest poet in my town, and then you're like, crap, I just got an 8.9 on a poem, you know, and that's like everyone's first year at Southern Fried, and it just pushes you to be like to take your stuff to the next level. I think that's so true. Awesome. Well, let's go around. Everyone just wants to give any just like final little thoughts before we kind of dip out here. This has just been amazing. Ed, anything else you want to say before we close out?
Thank you for this platform, Carolina Poets Within Poetry, of course. Thank these two wonderful individuals for sharing the virtual stage. Please make sure that you follow Within on Facebook, and then Carolina Poets on Facebook and also on YouTube as well. For what I'm seeing, they do this on a regular basis, and there's a ton of content on there that I'm actually going to go back and check some of the speakers and performances on. So make sure to check those out. I'll be doing the same. If you want to find me, if you're reading this or watching it, you should see my name on the screen. As soon as like Zoom just pops up on there. Everything on social media is my name. If you see this face, it'll probably be that. So edmabrey.com for website, for IG. If you can't find it, hit me up and I will tell you whatever you need as far as books and albums and all that jazz. And please also support these other two wonderful individuals as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. Thank you so much. Black Atticus.
That's dope. Chiming in what Ed was saying, man, thank you so much for this platform. Within Carolina. This is honestly, Southern Fried is the reason I'm sitting here right now. I've been very resistant against doing virtual poetry events, you know what I'm saying? And then, but at the same time, I realized this helped me realize how much I missed it. You know what I'm saying? I missed it. So this is beautiful. I'm Black Atticus at everything. If you want to follow some work I'm doing, I also have a team called Good Guy Collective. We function as a hip hop, kind of like a B corporation that we follow the principles of hip hop, peace, fun, love, and unity. So whatever we're doing is going to be on the up and up. But yeah, just keep encouraging and pushing the art. I'm looking to put out a lot more music, but Southern Fried messed around. I got the poet, woke up. I can't say this. If I can say this, my first Southern Fried, I was so overwhelmed. I heard so much damn poetry. I remember driving back home and my head was like this crazy collage of words. I didn't want to hear nothing. All of us drove back home in silence. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think about a poem or a rhyme for about 2 weeks. But as my threshold for it has increased, I've been writing ever since this last Southern Friday. Yeah, I've been writing every day. It's not a problem. Like, the stamina's up. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely, it feeds the soul. Absolutely,
I love it. You'll get better if it's for the rookies. If it gets through you, that won't always be. You'll be back at it. But yeah, anyway, I love y'all. I love everyone.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was so great. And Dove.
Yeah, so in the spirit of talking about humbling things, so I think it's funny. So this is the second year that I made it to Indies on the Southern Fried stage, and like, I don't know, I think it's funny because this year I didn't really expect to make it on there. That wasn't really the intention, but then I somehow made it on. I was like, oh, okay, and I'm top 4. Oh, okay, so I'm definitely okay, cool. And then coming into the first round and just getting like a super low score in the first round, I was like, okay, first round, that's cool, it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? It happens. But then with them doing 2 rounds, it was like, oh, okay, so I get another opportunity to come back in and do something greater, because obviously they just didn't like that particular poem. I came back in and then I got like another really low. It's just funny. It's just funny because it's like you think it's so like yeah, I work hard for this, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I know I can do it. They were scoring everybody really, really low, and I was like, yo, all I got to do is get a regular score, score, and I could just get. And they were like, no, we don't like you or your poems. Worst score the.
Welcome to Poetry Slam.
Just give me a regular score.
It was just, and it reads poems, and then like comes out with the '97 championship. Like, what are you doing? I dress nice for this. I sweat for the screen. I sweat.
I did have to say Ed was very like super chill and just killing it. So congrats on that, Ed. I think one thing that's really fun about Poetry Slam is sometimes it is like that Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes you're up.
Yeah, man. You got to get over that.
And the next day you're down.
You got to get over that. You know what?
Gotta get over it.
The last one in Arkansas, that was the only time I got a chance to be the head slam coach the first time, because Ray just couldn't do it. I think one of her sons got sick or something. Anyway, I go and I did one bit of research before I got up there, and I studied the words of the winners and the losers. And I can't remember what loser slam team it was, but one of the guys was just pretty much like, you gotta remember, slam was like rolling the dice, man. And that actually helped us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With that mindset, where it's just like, yeah, man, nothing's wrong with your poem. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing's wrong with your poem.
All you gotta do is say it. Make sure you don't drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? but you gotta let that go. Yeah, and realize this is audacious. You know what I'm saying? This is very audacious. That's the fun part about it. I mean, because you never know when somebody gives you a low score. You might look like somebody used to beat them up in school. It don't care how dope your poem is. You know what I mean? This one's for James. You know what I'm saying?
This one's for James.
It's 5.8. It's for that bastard in 8th grade.
Oh my God.
You don't know.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But it's a thing of like, you always got to come with it. Like, you can never be. You keep going. You never be relaxed. Just keep going. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it, man. I appreciate that, though, man.
Well, awesome. Well, audience, definitely thank y'all for hanging out with us. We could probably sit here and literally talk forever because we're poets.
Yes.
But definitely please support these poets. And also please check out the show with Dorian Paul Rogers that we recorded earlier today. He's in Dubai. So it was 3:00 in the morning for him this time. So definitely, yes, check that out. We did it at my lunch break today. And so that is also on the Carolina Poets page. Please buy books. Go on Spotify and just like listen to their songs over and over again. That gets everybody money. And please, we're here the second and fourth Thursday every month with 3 poets with Carolina connections or people that I just really like, and and different themes and whatnot. So please come back. And of course, check us out. We have a lot of in-person events in Greenville, South Carolina as well. But thank y'all for being a great audience, and definitely share this on your page, like and subscribe, and we'll see you all soon.